Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just when we thought the fairy tale had reached its perfect ending, something truly unbelievable happened. 1 month after their breathtaking wedding, Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo have just made a shocking announcement that absolutely no one saw coming. And trust me, it's the kind of news that will leave you speechless. What did they reveal? Why is the entire internet buzzing again? And how did this quiet couple manage to surprise millions in just one moment? We're about to break it all down. Every detail, every reaction, and the emotional story behind it all. So before we dive into this beautiful twist, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next chapter in this real-life love story. Let's get into it. When Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo stunned the world with their surprise wedding just 1 month ago, fans could hardly believe it was real. Two of Korea's most iconic stars, both known for their elegance, their mystery, their on-screen magic, had quietly built a love story off-screen that no one saw coming. Their wedding, held in secret under the cherry blossoms of Jeju Island, was nothing short of cinematic. It wasn't just a union, it was the kind of real-life romance that drama fans could only dream of. But while the world was still swooning over the fairy tale ceremony, no one expected what would happen next. Exactly 1 month later, Lee Min-ho posted a photo on Instagram. It was simple, a black and white image of two hands holding a tiny baby onesie. No caption, no emojis, just that one photo, and the internet caught fire. 15 minutes later, Song Hye-kyo posted one word, miracle. Along with it, she shared a blurred sonogram image, barely visible, but enough to send shockwaves across every social platform. Rumors spread like wildfire. Fans speculated, headlines exploded, and just when curiosity reached its peak, the couple appeared together in a short, raw, and emotional video. No lights, no music, no editing. Just two people sitting on a sofa, looking more real than they ever had before. Lee Min-ho began with a nervous smile. We weren't sure if we were ready to say this out loud, but we knew we didn't want to hide it either. Then came the moment that froze millions of viewers in place. Song Hye-kyo, voice trembling, eyes shimmering, looked into the camera and said, "We're going to have a baby." The silence that followed was deafening. Social media erupted. Hashtags like Minho Baby, Real Katie Drama, and Lee Min-ho Dad began trending in over 30 countries within minutes. Fans flooded the comments with disbelief, joy, and tears. It wasn't just news, it was a moment. A living, breathing, unfiltered moment. We found out shortly before the wedding. It was unexpected, beautiful, terrifying, but in the end, it felt right. Lee Min-ho reached for her hand, his voice steady but full of emotion. We got married because we were ready to share our lives, and now we're ready to share our hearts with someone new. Fans weren't the only ones reacting. Major stars from all over the world commented publicly. Kim Soo-hyun wrote, "I can't believe it, and I love it." Suzy Bae shared a heart emoji and the word family. Even Gong Yu reposted their video with the words, "This is how you change the world," with honesty. But not everything was joyful. Critics immediately questioned the timeline. Was this why they got married so quickly? Was this a part of a bigger plan? Was it an accident? But the fans responded louder than ever before. Thousands of posts poured in, defending them, celebrating them, reminding the world that love doesn't always follow scripts, and neither does life. One fan wrote, "Maybe it wasn't planned, maybe it wasn't perfect, but it's real, and it's theirs." Another said, "They've given us roles, stories, and characters for years. Now we get to see their most human role of all, parents." And that's what made it so powerful. This wasn't about fame, it wasn't a magazine cover reveal or a reality show gimmick. It was vulnerable, honest, brave. For once, two celebrities chose to share a piece of their truth, not to boost their careers, but because their hearts told them to. At the end of the video, as Lee Min-ho wrapped his arm around her shoulders and Song Hye-kyo leaned in close, he whispered, "Whatever happens next, we're ready." And then the screen faded to black. No credits, no outro, just the echo of something soft, something rare, something unforgettable. That night, millions of fans around the world didn't just go to sleep thinking of a celebrity couple, they went to sleep believing in love again. Because for the first time in a long time, it didn't feel like acting. It didn't feel scripted. It felt real. 1 month after the wedding, the world didn't just witness an announcement, we witnessed a new beginning. And whether or not they continue to share more, one thing is certain. This moment, this miracle, will stay with us forever. In the hours that followed their quiet revelation, the world seemed to pause and listen, not just to the words they had spoken, but to the silence that came after. The kind of silence that holds weight, meaning, and the unspoken truth that something deeply sacred has just been shared. News anchors choked up delivering the story. Paparazzi, for once, kept their distance. Even gossip blogs changed their tone. There was something about the way Lee Min-ho looked at her in that video, eyes soft but fierce, protective yet proud, and the way Song Hye-kyo smiled as if she'd been holding this light in her chest for weeks, finally letting it shine. It wasn't just about fame anymore. This wasn't another headline. It was a heartbeat, a beginning. Meanwhile, fans turned their emotions into action. One popular fan club launched a global letter-writing campaign called For Baby Min-kyo, where supporters from over 40 countries sent handwritten notes, blessings, and even handmade gifts. Another group organized a donation drive in the couple's name, supporting single mothers and newborns in Asia. They weren't just celebrating, they were reflecting what the couple had inspired: sincerity, gentleness, and hope. But the most surprising reaction came from someone who hadn't spoken publicly in years. A former director who worked with both actors a decade ago. In a heartfelt open letter he wrote, "On set, they were always professional, but in quiet moments I saw something pass between them, something unspoken, but deep. We all felt it. We just didn't know what it would become. Now we do." And indeed, it feels like the pieces were always there, scattered across time, hidden in glances, red carpet smiles, shared interviews that now hold new meaning. Looking back, fans dissected old videos. The way Lee Min-ho's voice softened when he said her name, the time Song Hye-kyo blushed when asked about her ideal man. No one connected the dots then, but now, it's like the story was being written in front of us all along. We just didn't know we were reading a love letter. Of course, there were still questions. Would they continue working? Would this change everything? But the couple had already given their answer, in the way they spoke, in the way they sat so close, as if shielding something precious from the world while still choosing to share it. "We're not stepping away from acting," he said with a small smile. "We're just stepping into something even more important." Song Hye-kyo nodded, her hand resting protectively on her belly. "We've played many roles, but this will be our most real." There was no script here, no director yelling cut, just two people who had loved in secret, married in quiet joy, and now opened their arms to the unknown. And somehow, watching them, the world found itself a little softer, a little slower, a little more human. By nightfall, their video had crossed 100 million views. News agencies labeled it the most beautiful announcement of the year. But beyond the numbers, something else had shifted. For a brief moment, the online world, so often harsh, chaotic, divided, was united in something simple: love. Vulnerable, imperfect, unexpected, but real. And that, in the end, is what makes this story unforgettable. Not the fame, not the glamour, but the courage to live honestly. Because when two stars choose to burn not for the spotlight, but for each other, what you get isn't just a headline. You get a moment, and sometimes a miracle.